The scope of deportation is coming into focus. The Air Force will conduct deportation flights for thousands of people. Donald Trump is deputizing. I don't know if that's the right word, deputizing, but he's granting deportation and immigration authority to the DEA, the ATF, and oh boy. You know, one of the biggest questions we had before Donald Trump got elected was, what is he going to do to enforce the law? Is he going to call in the military? A lot of people got scared. The idea of soldiers going around, right? Well, so far, I think it looks pretty good. We've got existing federal law enforcement. They are going to assist in deportation efforts. Hopefully, we will see actions from local law enforcement. And then, of course, we have the military's involvement. But my friends, it's not like, as of right now, we're talking about soldiers in trucks and trains loading people up. We're talking about federal law enforcement agents, cops, arresting people who broke the law. And then we just use military transport to send them home. I think it's actually incredibly nice. Sir, you are here unlawfully. You've broken the law. You've hurt people. And the worst thing that will happen to you is you're getting a ride home. How nice. Trump is such a nice guy. Here's a story from airandspaceforces.com. The Pentagon plans to use the U.S. Air Force C-17s and C-130s to deport 5,400 people currently detained by CBP. They announced on January 22nd the first act in President Trump's sweeping promise to crack down on undocumented immigrants and increase border security. You don't need to say undocumented anymore. Just say, I'm fine with unauthorized. I prefer criminal. We were talking to Rep. Kana, and he said that, immigrants commit lower crime. And I was like, yeah, but illegal immigrants commit 100% crime. Look, it's not going to work on me, right? When you come on the show and you say immigrants commit less crime, I'm like, you're talking about legal immigrants from like Britain, dude, or from like Nigeria. These legal immigrants tend to be well-intentioned people who filed the paperwork and do the right thing. And we love it. We respect that. They say the reason why Nigerian Americans, people who move here, immigrate here, tend to do so well, make a lot of money, is that these are people who in their country worked hard, saved up, applied properly, came here and legally emigrated. And we love that. That's beautiful. Thank you. See, that's what I would call enrichment. Individuals who say the American dream, the American way, that's the way to be. And they work hard and they prove themselves and they come to us and they ask, will you accept me? We say yes. Incredible. Is that dude who ran in Virginia. His name was Hung Cao. And his story was that his family fled Vietnam. And in response, or I should say to pay back this great nation for taking him in, he served for 25 years in the Navy. That is epic. That's what immigration's supposed to be. Now, if you have people who come here illegally, they are criminals. And they broke the law. So what they try to do, they try to lump immigrant in. They try to make illegal immigrant and immigrant the same thing. No, I won't do it. All right. They say right now, we also anticipate that there will be some additional airborne intelligence surveillance support assets that would move down the border to increase situational awareness, a senior military official told reporters. Acting Secretary of Defense Robert Salesis said in a statement that 1,500 active duty troops are being sent to the southern border to take complete operational control of the southern border of the United States. Ultimately, as many as 10,000 could be deployed, the senior military official added. This is just the beginning, Salesis' statement noted. The deportation flights will be carried out using 2 USAF C-17s and 2 C-130s, according to the Pentagon. Those aircraft, along with the aircrew and a handful of other personnel, will deploy to San Diego, California, and El Paso, Texas. C-17s from Travis Air Force Base. Wow, this is intensive. They say, officials are still unclear where the thousands of people will be deported to, the Pentagon said. Well, I also have questions, but I wonder if we can just ferry them peacefully to Mexico. And that's one place. Because I don't know how you do it all in one lump sum, right? Quote, the State Department has the decision-making and has the relationships that they're working with those countries that will ultimately be the source to where these flights are going. The Pentagon said the Department of Homeland Security would provide in-flight law enforcement, not military personnel. Interesting. So federal agents, I respect this. I've said we got to do it, but it's got to be done perfectly. We do not want anyone being abused. We do not want anyone coming to harm. And I stress this. I want orderly Peaceful, good sir, you're a bad person, but we're giving you a ride home. I don't want to see none of this harsh, thrown in the back of trucks and trains, none of that. And I still have fears it will come to pass, but I think that's a bad thing and they shouldn't do it. The challenge then becomes, look, man, you broke the law entering here illegally. We're not entitled, we're not required to give you a luxury hotel room. Okay, we're sending you home. They're going to say the Pentagon said that the DHS will provide law enforcement. If additional airborne assets are deployed for surveillance along the border, they will be drawn from a variety of services and not just the U.S. Air Force. This will be multi-service. Tactical UAS could be used to provide localized intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance in a particular area. An Army MQ-1 and Air Force MQ-9 drone could be deployed as well. You have manned platforms that could find support as well. So that is still not fully decided yet, the senior military official said. The 1,500 troops that are being sent include 1,000 soldiers and 500 Marines. Wow. They are joining some 2,500 service members already deployed to the southern border. These forces will work on the emplacement of physical barriers and other border missions, the senior military official said of the new deployments. First operations for them should commence within the next 24 to 48 hours. They're moving right now as we sit here, and I hope we see a redeployment of the concertina wire. Texas said, we're deploying the razor wire. Yeah, don't try to jump over it. Okay, that's your problem. And Biden was like, no. They wanted to put up, I think in Arizona they did this. They built a wall of shipping containers. And Biden's government was like, no, you can't do any of this. And it's like, why? Why are they intentionally allowing people to storm our borders? Because they're evil. They're going to say the operation will be led by U.S. Northern Command, which Trump charged to seal the borders by repelling forms of invasion. U.S. troops are prohibited from performing law enforcement duties under the Posse Comitatus Act, but Trump said in his executive order that their use is justified because he has declared a border emergency to stop forms of invasion, including unlawful mass migration, narcotics trafficking, human smuggling, and trafficking, and other criminal activities. But these individuals are largely just creating barriers to protect this nation. I think it's absolutely fair. We're not asking Marines or U.S. Army to go into New York to enforce traffic law. Boy, I got to tell you, when I was in New York during Occupy, we had there were some off-duty. They were on leave. There were some Army personnel on leave, and they were walking around Zuccotti Park. And these people are so insane. One guy started screaming Posse Comitatus over and over again at these guys. And he's like, they're not allowed to be here. They're not allowed to be here. Posse Comitatus, Posse Comitatus. And I'm like, guy, stop. They're on leave, man. They're just walking around. They're going to buy a cheeseburger, dude. Chill. These poor guys. They're just standing there getting yelled at by these activists. Okay, listen. This is the way it should be. Our good, brave men and women in uniform. And look, I'm going to be the first to tell you, you get a lot of this glorification of like, they're all heroes. Well, you know, a lot of them are. Some of them just wanted a job, and that's okay. They chose a job that we need done, and I respect it. And that means you will protect this country. The photo in question, by the way, is from 2018. This is interesting. Do they say what the photo is? U.S. CBP officers from El Paso Field Office board a U.S. Air Force C-17 in November 15th, 2018. That's crazy. I think Trump wanted to do this stuff back in the day, but they would not allow it. Well, now we're moving forward, and Trump is taking action. He's ripping into FEMA. We've got two big disasters. Trump's going to visit North Carolina on Friday before heading to California to see the ongoing fire destruction. This man's getting the job done. We're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on foreign countries. He's put a pause on foreign aid until we take care of America. And man, is that one of the greatest things I've ever heard. So I guess I got a question for all of you in the comments. The question for you is, for those of you that served, would you? I suppose the answer is obvious that you would abide by lawful orders, but would you feel good about it? You know, right now we've got money being sent to Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, other countries, and there are troops in the Middle East that I don't think are serving any real purpose. I understand there's a machinations at play, and there's a reason for them to be there. But I'm curious, for those that actually served, how would you feel if you were ordered to go to the southern border, protect this country, versus being sent to Syria to protect an oil field or a poppy field in Afghanistan? I think it's about time we got some real governance and respect for the people in uniform. Maybe now they'll actually do something that protects this country instead of guarding poppy fields in Afghanistan. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people who have done a lot of great things to protect this country. I'm saying there are some people that serve that were certainly given orders that they didn't think that was going to be the job. So let me know. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. Become a member at timcast.com. Head over to Timcast IRL on YouTube. We'll be up at 8 o'clock. It's going to be fun, and we'll see you all then.